This is Mrs. Wilcoxis in the library. It is August 9th, 2017, and this video is on 3D printing the protein for the AP Biology project. And this is the haiku page that we'll refer back to. I'm still in the process of building it, so if you're looking at by the time you watch this video, this will probably be fully fledged. Okay, so we're going to start with the NIH 3D print exchange. I think that's where Mr. Lammers suggests you get your 3D print file. We're going to go out to the Discover. NIH 3D print exchange. NIH is National Institutes of Health. And we can start looking for proteins by just limiting it right here. If you know the name of your protein, even better. But I'm just going to grab one so I can show you the process. I'm going to grab an easy one. Here we go. I'm going to grab this one right here. The more complex they are, the trickier they are to print. That's not really your problem, but it is a concern because every once in a while, last year, as 2017, last year, I think we were able to print every single one of the proteins, and they printed out well. The year before we struggled. It was our first year, but I don't know whether they picked different proteins, but we had lots of luck last year, but there's always a possibility of it not printing, and we can talk about what you need to do then. So if this is my protein here, when I click download, you see lots and lots of files as if those are all different proteins, and they're really not. They're different types of files. So let me come back and show you. Basically, you have two views of whatever this protein is called. 3DPX007827. Okay. So you notice that this says short ribbon, short ribbon, short ribbon. Okay. So this is the ribbon structure of it. This is the surface structure, and you see surf. And you see them in different colors. That is not written into the code of, I'm going to let you choose the color. That is not written into the code in how to print it. So don't let that affect how you or which one you choose. If you want to focus on the surface structure of the protein, then you need to choose one that has a surf in the name. If you want to focus on the ribbon structure, choose the ribbon. So I'm going to click here, and you see all these different types of files. This is a 3D file. Blender files are also 3D files, but Blender is a specific CAD program that we're not using. We use the MakerBot platform. STL and VRML files, that's a virtual reality file. And so that if you were going to do some sort of virtual reality type presentation all digitally, you would use a VRML file, but we're going to stick with the STL file. So you really only have two choices here. Right here, this is the short surface and the short ribbon. Surface, ribbon. Remember how I told you, it doesn't matter the colors, right? And our printer will do up to 2 colors at a time, but we can only print these proteins in 1 color because I'm going to need to use the other extruder to make water-soluble supports for this. So your protein will only be in 1 color. So I'm going to click through here so you can see what's going on. Okay, so this is what the one that I picked looks like. Okay, so you can kind of pull it around. You can see what it looks like in 3D. When you click on it and you put it into your Google Drive, you are not necessarily going to have the option to see this. It's going to store the STL file, but it's not necessarily going to open the STL file. So let me kind of just back up and explain that. If somebody sent you a PowerPoint, your computer could store the PowerPoint, but unless you have the PowerPoint program on it, it won't open it up. It's the same sort of thing. The STL files, the programs to open up an STL file is not usually a piece of software that's included in a standard computer. So what I did is I downloaded a Chrome extension called 3D View. I think it's just called 3D VIEU. No, VIEW, sorry. And it allows me to see it from this perspective. Okay, you're going to need to come here and you're going to just save it to your Google Drive. Okay, you can actually save it to your Google Drive without viewing it, but I think it's nice so that you can see it in a large perspective. So you're going to save this to your Google Drive, and then you will go over here to and you will come here and you will upload your STL file to your Google Drive. The other thing I need you to do is I need you to rename your print, your protein print file. Because if you send it to me with this big long name on it, I'm not going to know who belongs to what without having to do some searching. Granted, I could backtrack and figure it out, but that makes it hard for me. I need you to rename it because I'm going to match it up with your color request. So let me show you here. Once you submit it, I want you to go do a color request. You just tell me your first choice. Whoopsie, I need to fix that. They should all be a drop-down box. First choice, second choice, third choice. When I say a weird red, it's like a cheap looking red sweater. It's a weird red. It's not a good Christmas red. I'll do it, but it's not a good red. And these are the colors that I can do it in. If you've done 3D printing down here before, you know we have all sorts of filaments to print in. We have wood, we have glow in the dark, we have rubber, but these files are so hard to print. I need to print it in something easy like plastic. So this is all going to be PLA, and I just need you to pick a color. And I'll give you first, second, and third choice. I will try and meet your requests. But as I run out of something, I want to print it rather than wait on new filament to come in from, to get shipped in. So make your color request, and your color request will come in with your email address. And I need that file to match those two so that I can say that this color needs to be in for this print. So I need you to do that for me. And I think that's all I needed you guys to do. If you have any questions, stop by the library. I'm always happy to help. I don't know what your due date on this is, so I'm not going to put your due dates right here. And right now, that's just a default. I'm not sure actually when it's due. We'll have to ask that, and I'll change that from Mr. Lammers. I have given you right to edit. So if you upload something and change your mind, you can upload something new, but once I've printed it, I'm kind of done because I got to move on because there's a lot to be done. If you have any questions, stop by the library. I'll be happy to help.